Hello students, I am Dr. Amit Bhatnagar, working as Senior Research Officer in the Department of Agronomy at GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology, Pantnagar, Uttarakhand. Here I will explain some terms related to maize crop, and there are some words which we use in maize crop. So these terms and words are very important and generally asked in examinations. So we should have clear idea about these words and we should know what is the meaning of these terms. So these terms here are only related to maize crop. So first, if we talk about maize, it is generally known as corn. So both maize and corn are synonymous, meaning is same, maize and corn. Actually, corn word is related to any grain. The corn word is applied to any grain, but in US, Canada and Australia, this corn is specifically used for maize. So nowadays, corn means maize. Otherwise, corn may be applied to any grain, but nowadays it is specifically used for maize. So maize and corn both are synonymous, but there is a difference. Corn is said to be any grain. Then there is a confusion in cob and ear. Generally we ask ear is cob and cob is ear, but botanically ear is female reproductive part which contains shank, then it is covered inside the husk green leaves. So in the plant, which is the female part, reproductive organ is botanically ear, and this is a shank, this is shank, and this is the cob on which grains are present, and this is the shank which is attached with the node of the plant. Then there is a husk, green leaves, this is the husk, and the central part on which grains are attached is cob, and then this outside are the silk. So botanically this is ear, which consists of shank, husk, cob and grain, but this is also known as cob. So cob may be said to be ear. तो ear को हम cob कह सकते हैं, लेकिन ear botanically this is reproductive structure organ, but this whole structure is said to be cob. वैसे तो ear है, this is ear, but we can say it is cob. So but the cob, botanically cob is the central part on which grains are attached, but we can say this part is cob. So this is the cob and ear. Okay, then tasseling. Tassel is male reproductive part. In case of maize plant, this is maize plant, suppose, and on the apex, male reproductive part appear which contains pollen. This is known as tassel. This is the male reproductive part, okay, and it contains pollen, and the emergence of this tassel is known as tasseling. So emergence of male reproductive part is known as tasseling, and this whole male reproductive part is known as tassel. Then silking. Silking is related with the silk. Actually, in this cob structure, ear structure, some very fine threads are there which are known as silk, and this silk is emerged out from a cob or ear, and the emergence of this female reproductive part, actually this is female reproductive part, and the emergence of this female reproductive part is known as silking. So this is the difference in tasseling and silking. Tasseling is emergence of male reproductive part, and silking is emergence of female reproductive part. So in maize plant, this silk cob emerge from node. Okay, first tassel emerge, first male part comes, After that female part come. So here the male part is at the apex, at the top of the plant, at the apex, and this female is on the node. So male and female both are on different location but on the same plant, and this situation is known as monoecious condition. When male and female part are on the same plant but at different location, then it is called monoecious. So maize is monoecious plant. Another term is dioecious. In case of dioecious, plant either contain male reproductive part or female. So one plant has only male, another has only female. For example, papaya. So such type of plants are known as dioecious, where one plant contain only male flowers and another plant contain only female flower. But in monoecious, male and female flowers are different location but at the same plant. But in case of dioecious, male part is on another plant and female on another plant. So male and female plants are entirely different. So maize is monoecious, and this tassel come before silking. And this nature of the plant, when male part come before female part, is known as protandry. So this is protandry nature. Maize is of protandry nature because male part means tasseling comes before silking. If female comes before the male part, then it is known as protogynous nature. But maize is protandry. Here tassel comes before silking. So in kharif crop, generally tassel comes in 45 to 55 days after sowing. This is the general days in kharif crop. So in early duration varieties hybrid, tasseling start 45 days after sowing, and in late maturity, full season maturity hybrids, it comes about 55 days after sowing. And 2 to 3 days after tasseling, generally 2 to 3 days, maybe 4 days, silking start. So there is a difference about 2, 3 or 4 days between tasseling and silking. So first tassel comes, and after 3 or 4 days, then this silk appear. And this interval between tasseling and silking is known as ASI, means anthesis silk interval. So this ASI is very important. If ASI is less, suppose 2 or 3 days, then pollens are viable, and then pollens come on the silk and fertilize then they germinate on the silk and fertilize the ovule, and there is a proper seed setting. If ASI is longer, means anthesis silk interval is long, about 5 days, 6 days or 7 days, even maybe 8 days under any stress, then pollen will not be remain viable at the time of emergence of silk. Suppose ASI is 8 days, it means tassel appear, then after 8 days of tassel appearance, silk appear, and by that time, means during the 8 days pollen is not viable, then pollen will not fertilize the ovule and there will be no seed setting. So ASI should be less. Nowadays in general hybrids, ASI is 2 to 3 days, but in old varieties and composite it may be about 4 days, but not more than 5 days. So this is the importance of this ASI. So ASI is very important. Anthesis means the pollen grain start. So the silk is female reproductive part and tassel is male reproductive part. So remember it, in case of maize, male part is tassel and female part is silk. Then detasseling. When we remove the tassel from the maize plant, it is known as detasseling. D means remove. So cutting off or removal of tassel, male part, is known as detasseling. And this detasseling operation generally done for 3 purpose. क्यों करते हैं हम टैसल को, क्यों काट देते हैं, क्यों रिमूव कर देते हैं? नंबर 1, इन हाइब्रिड सीड प्रोडक्शन. in hybrid seed production, actually male line is grown, one male line is grown, and then 3 to 4 female lines are grown, then male lines, one male line, then 3 to 4 female lines. So this is male line and these are female line. This is male line and this is female line. Okay, and in seed production, hybrid seed production, we want pollen only from male line, okay, but this female line, maize plant is there, female line में maize plant is there, it also has tassel, and if female line have tassel, then it will also spread or will contribute their own pollen. So that's why, to avoid the contamination, we remove the tassel from these female line. So this is important operation. So when male and female lines are there, then we remove the tassel from female. So detasseling is done in hybrid seed production in female line. Remember that. This may be asked in examination. Detasseling is done in male line, female line, or both the line. So it is done in female line because we want pollen only from male line. So this is the reason that detasseling is must. Then another detasseling is done in baby corn production. In baby corn production, detasseling is done because in baby corn, suppose these are baby corn plant, okay, in this line baby corns, and baby corns are the very short corn. When the corn appear, when silk appear, so 2 to 3 days after appearance of silk, corns are harvested. So these are unfertilized ovule, unfertilized ear, because it is harvested 2 to 3 days after emergence of silk. तो जैसे ही कॉब आती है उसके दूसरे तीसरे दिन इसको तोड़ देते हैं. That's why it is known as baby corn, and we avoid the fertilization. So if tassel is there in plant, tassel is there, so tassel is removed. Tassel is removed to avoid the pollination. So detasseling is done in baby corn production also. This is the important operation. Then another detasseling purpose is in to increase the crop productivity by more interception of solar radiation. How it is possible that detasseling increases the solar radiation? For example, this cultural practice adopted in maize in those areas where solar radiation is less. Suppose this is a maize plant. This is the tassel on the apex and this is the cob. Okay, so after pollination, when cob is fertilized, there is no contribution, no role of this tassel in crop productivity, and it derives the nutrients but doesn't contribute in productivity because after pollination there is no role. Okay, so when we remove this tassel, that is detasseling, then more solar radiation is on leaves, which was otherwise enhanced by tassel. तो अगर हम tassel को काट देंगे तो जो solar radiation ऊपर रुक रहा था वो अब नीचे आने लगेगा. It reach up to the lower leaves. So this increased solar radiation increases the productivity. Another advantage is that otherwise tassel absorbs the nutrient and doesn't contribute in productivity. तो अब क्या होगा, tassel हमने काट दिया तो अब उसमें nutrient ज़्यादा lock नहीं होंगे क्योंकि वो कट चुका है. So this is the advantage of detasseling, and in general increases the solar radiation up to the leaves. So this may be asked in examination, what is the advantage of detasseling? Okay, so in hybrid seed production, in baby corn production, and in to increase the solar radiation interception. So this was the detasseling. Now this opaque 2 gene, actually this is gene, and this gene is specifically related with the maize, and this opaque 2 gene is related to increase the lysine and tryptophan. Lysine and tryptophan amino acid in maize. lysine and tryptophan. These two amino acids, these are amino acids, and these two amino acids in cereals are deficient. If it is rice, wheat, maize, these two amino acids are deficient. In cereal crops, these two amino acids are deficient. Maize is also deficient in these two amino acids. But due to mutation, there was an OPEC2 gene, and this gene has high content of lysine and tryptophan. So this gene is responsible for high lysine and tryptophan. Such type of maize which have OPEC2 gene are known as quality protein maize, QPM. And in general, this lysine in normal maize is about 2.5%, but in QPM it is about 4%. And tryptophan in general it is about 0.3%, but in QPM, because of this OPEC2 gene, it is about 0.8%. So this OPEC2 gene is very important, which is responsible for high lysine and tryptophan, and by using this OPEC2 gene, quality protein maize is developed. So this is OPEC2 gene. There was another FLORI2 gene. FLORI2 gene was also related with the maize for more amino acid content, but this gene is important. Then white bud. White bud in maize is whitening or chlorosis of younger leaves due to zinc deficiency. So this white bud in maize is related with the zinc deficiency. Newly emerged leaf, top leaves become chlorotic, loss of chlorophyll, become yellowish, whitish. That's why it is known as white bud. So it is related with the zinc deficiency. It is same like as zinc deficiency in rice is khera. जिस तरह से जिंक की डेफिशिएंसी से राइस में खेरा होता है, सिमिलरली इन केस ऑफ मेज इट इज व्हाइट बड. सो इट इज जनरली asked in examination. Then shelling, it is a process by which grains are removed from cob. So removal of grains from maize cob is known as shelling. Separation, we can say this is a threshing process. Separation of grain, it is known as shelling. And in general, in maize, shelling is about 80 to 85%. But in general, it is about 80%. So it may be asked in examination, what is the general shelling? So it is 80%. If cob is not properly filled, so it may be about 70%. But at most, it is about 85%. In good hybrid, it is about 85%. On an average, it is about 80%. It means if 100 kg cob is there, 100 kg cob is there, cob means grain attached with the rachis, central part, and shelling is 80%, then we can get 80 kg grain if shelling is 80%. So this shelling is very important, which decide how much grain we obtain from cob. If shelling percentage is less, means central part is pithy and grain size is small, that's why grain weight is not more. Then another is multiple ear. Multiple ear, also known as Maize syndrome, means multiple ears on same shank. Maize means multiple ears on same shank. What is shank? This is the plant, okay, this is a node, and this is the cob. The cob is attached with a long structure which is known as shank. जो डंडी जो भुट्टे में लगी रहती है, that is known as shank. Okay, so in multiple ear on same shank, suppose this is one shank, so another cob start from same shank, third one, fourth one, fifth one, there may be 5, 6 more cobs or more ears on the same shank. It is known as multiple ears syndrome and also known as bouquet effect. जैसे फूल का गुलदस्ता होता है, बुके होता है, उसी तरह से ये इस तरह का स्ट्रक्चर बन जाएगा, because on same shank there are many ears, and this is due to some hormonal disturbance, and there is no filling of ears, no grain is obtained such type of multiple ears. So this is problematic, and maybe some genetic problems may be related to some hormones. So this is not very common. It is not that the most of the plant contain. It is not like that. This is the rare problem. ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, कभी कदाच ये प्लांट्स में नजर आता है. So this is mass syndrome. फिर से सुन लीजिए इसको. Multiple ears on same shank. एक ही शैंक पर कई सारी कॉब्स आ जाती हैं, बट देयर इज नो फिलिंग ऑफ एनी कॉब. कोई भी कॉब में कोई ग्रेन नहीं आता. सो दिस इज द वेस्टेज ऑफ नो ग्रेन इज ऑब्टेन फ्रॉम द प्लांट. सो दिस इज द वेस्टेज ऑफ रिसोर्सेज, वेस्टेज ऑफ इनपुट. देन टेसल ईयर. इन केस ऑफ टेसल ईयर, this is also a hormonal problem due to and this hormones may be triggered by some environmental factors. In general, this is the maize plant and the tassel is on apex. This is the tassel and cobs are on nodes. This is the general morphology of maize plant, but there is no cob and tassel contain some grain formation. This is known as tassel ear. So this is also due to hormonal disturbance, and it is not that the whole tassel is filled with the cobs. Some grains are present on tassel. So this is also a rare situation, but known as tassel ear. tassel पे ही क्या है, ear आ गई, उस पर grain setting हो गई. So ये mutation से भी हो सकता है, कुछ hormonal disturbance है, कुछ जेनेटिक फैक्टर्स हैं, तो इसमें भी नो यील्ड इज ऑब्टेन्ड फ्रॉम द प्लांट. सो दिस इज द वेस्टेज ऑफ रिसोर्सेज, वेस्टेज ऑफ इनपुट्स. तो कोई भी यील्ड हमें इन प्लांट से नहीं मिलती है. सो दीज आर सम टाइप्स ऑफ डिसऑर्डर. देन टेसल फायरिंग. इन ट्रॉपिकल रीजन वेयर टेम्परेचर इज वेरी हाई, so there is a heat stress. Because of this high heat, there is a burning of tassel. So this suppose this maize plant and tassel is there, and this tassel actually faces the solar radiation. First this tassel faces the solar radiation from the top, and because of this high heat there is a firing, there is a burning of tassel. Tassel become dry because of this high stress, and this is known as tassel blast. And this situation occur in tropical region where high temperature occurs. So this tassel blast occurred due to heat stress. So these are the some disorder. Multiple ears, Maize syndrome, also known as bouquet effect, tassel ear and the tassel firing. तो ये मैंने आपको बताया कि कैसे इस तरह से ये disorder होते हैं. So these are in general terms and words which are related with the maize. तो ये आपको समझ में आ गया होगा. And detasseling is important operation, particularly in hybrid seed production and in baby corn production. Baby corn production, we do not want unfertilized ovule. We want corn of 2 to 3 days. जैसी corn निकले उसको 2 से 3 से 3 तोड़ लीजिए, और हम उसमें कोई fertilization नहीं चाहते हैं. It become tender, it is very soft, is used as a vegetable. So this detasseling is important operation in hybrid seed production, and this detasseling is done in female line and in baby corn production. And in other area where solar radiation is less, then we can go for detasseling so that solar radiation interception is more by canopy. So these are the some words which are related with the maize. Thank you very much.